Okay, so hello everyone, welcome to this new video. Where we are going to continue the development of our platform again. So let's get directly to the code without any delay. First, I'm going to create a file. HTTP. Today we are going to do two things. That is, we'll get two components: text view, image view, so to speak, and a button notification. Okay, so these are the code components that you must have for our game. And similarly, I will create a C++ files for these components. So first I need to have that view.cpp. Then I will have button.cpp. Then I will have view.cpp. And at last we will have view.cpp. So it is also necessary. View.cpp. I think we have 4 files here and view, text view, image view. Now these 4 files or these 4 components are going to are must have, which we require for rendering the text and other image graphics on the screen. Yes. And I'll be implementing them, and so you can follow along if you are just want to watch. You can also watch it. So the first component that we will be implementing is simply a view. What is 50? Okay. Now the view component is nothing less than rectangle. Let me see then what the view component should look like. So it will have say dimensions like SDL, right? It's one dimensions. It will include this. That's okay. Yeah, it should be something like that. Okay, to be honest, really hot error different. There isn't. Okay, it's all right now. So STL reg, there will be rectangle and there will be background color. So STL color, color. And I think these are the all that I want you to have. The rest it can have elements. So element will be of will be a linked list of type view pointer. Let's get a vector here. We're not use C++, if we are actually using C++. So let's read below it or above it. Let's below. So actually below I'll be doing std vector. If you are not able to understand what I'm doing, I'm simply creating a view. Okay, let me demonstrate it by drawing. So let's say, okay, this is the previous session. Now this is our okay, this is our window. Okay, and now on our window we have to draw something. Literally draw something in it. So we can draw rectangles, lines, or lines or points, because library on SDL, simple SDL actually provides this simple things to draw only. Means the functions that SDL2 is having, like say, it has a function called draw rect, fill rect, and other functions. So those functions allow us to draw rectangles and some basic steps only, like inputting pixel on screen, nothing much. So I want to a proper layout thing first, like a categorization of things at what they are actually. I mean, let's say we will have a container. Like if you have tested, have done some, have had some experience with development or any kind of UI stuff, you are first having a container, and inside that container you are having multiple, say, buttons or other content stuff. Let's say here you are having X, Y is it? I don't understand. Now, if I do it, why is it? Okay, this is the center and this is our container. This is our another container. And let's say this is the worship button B and let it say button. And say this is our some what if it say let's say this is some checkbox. It can also be checkbox whatsoever. So what I'm doing is I want to create these kind of containers for our graphic elements. And the outermost container, which can contain literally anything, is called a view. It's called a view. This is a view which is containing these buttons and other stuff that I'm having. And then we are having a component button. So this is a button.svg, so it will get a button checkbox. I'm not getting checkbox or doing some this much complicated input handling here. We'll see how to deal with this stuff later. But for now, these basic components will do. Basic UI components, say, let's say, because these are just some basic UI components which are must have. Of course, and this view component or this view thing can have multiple things inside it. How many and what things they will be? So they will be a view. You can have multiple views itself. Uh, this will be pretty hard to understand, but if I have to describe it, let's say actually everything is a view. This button is also going to inherit this class view. This image is also going to inherit this class view and text view. Everything is going to be a view in the end. So it's just a global container of everything. So this is our vector of views. Let's say elements, or let's say children. Children. So it's a better term. And then I will have some functions. And that will be void render. And by the way, oh yeah, and this render function will accept two things: SDL renderer, and it will another thing it will expect is its parents. So you have to give it parents reference. So who is the parent of this view, so that it can align itself according to its parent. And that's it for now. Now to get started, let's create a structure in here. Okay, forward one thing. But actually define the functions in here that are in here. So this is split it. It looks perfect. Just simply include view.hp, I think. View.hp, and then define our first structure. Okay, to then I'm having a render functions. Find that too. Finding a render function. Colon render. As a run type is nothing, it's void. And then all I have to do is for the visual and review reference parent. I think that's enough. Now let's put this up. So ignoring the other files like say button and other components, and I will be coding on say only focusing on view for now. So let's take care of this thing. Okay, so how I want it to work. First, I have to create a view. All I want to do is just simply say view W, which is the default interface. Now I want a view to have what I want you to have. I want you to have, should be able to provide something like one BG color. Let's say to be so first it should have a dimension. It must have a dimension. Which can be really nothing. The color is also must, but it can also be transparent. Yeah, by the way, for color, I forgot to mention one thing. I have to do something. The color. I have to enable the blending because the renderer is not going to consider the alpha values of the color pixels. So I have to set the blending to blend the alpha to still set blend. I think something set render drop blend or then SDL blend blend. This will allow us to modify the alpha values of this. Uh, Now I'm having application busy color. Now what to do? Uh, that much is going to be enough for it to overdo it. All I have to do is just simply uh, let's say we start using these things. I think it's alright. Yeah, it's alright. So just simply accept this. Which can be literally this thing. Color. This can also be a stamp. And then all I have to do is just assign this dimension. So I don't need to do it like this. I can simply provide it here. I think it is done like that. I've got the syntax of shape. I think you have a colon, and then all you have to do is provide the variable name and simply provide the name. And then I have bg color. Bg color is also bg color. That's it. Uh, Now we have our color and dimensions. All I have to do is render this rectangle. Considering its parent. If its parent is null, then nothing has to be done. I think I should set the pointer here. I'm more familiar with pointers. So I have to see if its parent is null, that means its parent is directly the window itself. And if it's not null, then it's going to consider its parents, say margin and other stuff to calculate the say position of children inside. So all it will do is simply first render the set render drop color color and what's the color? Okay, what is this? Okay, renderer is short render and then spell. Now I have to do is bg color dot r and also use some macro explanation for it, but let's I will do many things for now. It's a very simple thing to do it. So G and then B and then A for B, BG color dot A. Okay, and that's it. All I have to do is now render a fill gap. Render fill and render and then what? Simple dimensions. I think that's it. So we have a rectangle and your dimensions now. Okay, so we have a view rendered now. Now all I want to do is render the components inside this view. It is, let's say we create more views inside this view or do something else. I want to render them. So let's say if its parent is null, then simply return no. There is no meaning behind it. That's all right. I think I'm doing not quite right because if its parent is null, then only it can do such thing. Okay, we have a solution in here. Its parent is null. Like using braces too much, but stick with it for now. Okay, else otherwise what will do, it will not render it this way. It will not directly just put other dimensions stuff. It will check for its parent's position. That's how it's going to render. How about hierarchy? I mean, it has to be aware of its parents too. Let me demonstrate it by trying. Let's say I have this. So I have a window here, and inside I created a view like this rectangle. Inside I also created a rectangle, and yep, it's perfectly aligned within it. And then again I create a rectangle. Suddenly this view. So I want it to be this view to respect this view's position. What should I do? If parent is not null, then first we have to take the parent's height and with whatsoever dimension it is having. So first we need to have the parent's dimensions. So it will be parent's dimensions. This parent row dimensions, and then to parent is not null. Okay, parent is not. You have to take the parent's dimensions and those parents dimensions. Okay, now all I need is SDL that render, let's say, render dimensions. All I'll do is simply add those parents X and Y to this thing. And I'm not going to deal with overflows. So let me add to do here to deal with child overflowing parent. Okay, uploaded it for now. I'll take the parents dimensions, that is parents with height and xy everything. And in render dimensions, all I'll do is let me check. So pdm plus dot x plus this dot pdm dot y plus this dot. Okay, this not this plot, but zero. That is the pointer. Since I used okay this and what it is this pm dot dot x this dimensions this pm and what so x y is done parent dimensions and now forward that I'll get simply this arrow dimensions of width and this arrow pm dot pm dot oh, okay now I'm in the dimensions ready and okay, I think this code can be done in a very well way. Let me just make it here first. Okay, now let me have the render dimensions here first. Okay, at the render dimensions 60. Good dimension. And I'm not going to read it. Now I'm having this render dimensions. Initially, it will be filled with normal default this row dimension. Okay, now it has some parent, it is going to add those dimensions in there. And this thing is just need not to be done, but this can be just outside. And this can also be outside then. I think if it can be outside, all you need to do is modify the render the render dimensions. Yep. Okay. And it isn't needed to if parent is not null, then you have to add the parents dimensions to this thing. And that's it. Okay, this results for the first child. It is the parent is not null. But the second child is going to get the dimensions same as that one. I mean, it should be inside the second child. Let's say this only results for the second child. This thing, the third child is not going to be rendered. It's all going to be rendered, say, from here somewhere, because here things X and Y was set or inserted to the screen. I want to follow the tree path that that is to traverse the whole say parent, all the parent list, and respective to that I want it aligned. It will only work for second. Let's say this is child and one more nesting or third box. It won't work. How can I make it work? So render dimensions. It is going to render dimension. I mean this is the rendering dimensions of the rectangle that I'm going to render. Actually, it is just simply this sort dimension, this arrow dimensions. If parent is not null, then add the parent's dimensions to it too. Okay. Once I read that if I am having a nested parent, it has two parents. So I have to calculate everyone. Yeah, it's like traversing a linked list. I don't know. Seems like that. Okay, let's then file uh, parent is not null. I really don't want to do this, but okay. So parent assign. This is a linked list traversing parent to parent. And parent arrow parent is it something? Okay, parent does not have a parent. How we say we handle it? Okay, I think I should literally just have this parent thing inside here. Need to have the yes, let me have this idea. And also assign the parent in parent parent and no need to pass the parent in the random. And okay, I don't know. So just fixed it now. See what's going to first is going to check the parent is not null. If it is not null, then dimension and stuff. And check if the parent has any parent. Let's say the parent itself has the parent null and is directly related to the window. The parent is like say window, then parent is null and then result to enter simply. It's not going to add then. It's only going to add one. So I think it's the logic is correct in here. It is simply a linked list kind of and tracing it reversely. Okay. Parent is parent. Parent is- I don't think I should be modifying the actual variable in here. So let us say it temp parent. Doing something like that. I don't know how to nicely. Let's just do it stepwise then. Okay, let me create a variable here. Still variable. No, you pointer 10. And assign to parent. And if temp not equal to none, then temp dimensions and temp assign temp temporary variable. Okay, so this writing it will work. because I'm not modifying the actual parent variable. This is and so every time it is going to calculate the, okay, it's going to be pretty heavy operation. Let me see. Okay, say what say make it more better later on. Okay, this will do for now. Let's just try creating something. So this is our view, and all I need to pass in here some dimensions. So SDL directions would say hmm, what dimension? 100 check. For color, I would say color, let's say 255, 255, 255. Right. We are having a rectangle, a color. I think I should define a element. And for parent, default parent will be no. I think I'm doing something. And pass the for 2.8. And let's say by default it is null. Okay, and here also view pointer parent. I think it's all right. Let's see uh, now what happened with no constructor of view matches. Okay, it's all right. It's okay, accepting the values because it thinks it is. Anyway, then but just for the case getting okay, bypass my lead. Let me not do because I'm an optional argument. I don't need to. Anyway, why is it throwing an error? I don't understand. Here I can have literally mention it as optional argument. You pointed parent equals null. But do I do it here? Why do I do it here? Let's say null. And let's not do. And let's see then. Okay, it's fixed. Okay, so I don't have to specify the option arguments in here. That's not right because I'm defining the function over there. Which expected end of declaration. This C++ error. So I don't know what it is saying. There's a view, there's a dimension, and I'm simply having a what? Okay, let me not trust the what is in here. Let me simply trust the compiler actually. This thing. And so it is null or say simply null PG or C++. No instance of view as matched. I don't know. Whereas I clearly say it need not to match anything. Well, I think it's alright. It- It's not being. No, it's fine. I don't know why I had to struggle with this C++. Maybe I'm wrong memory for I haven't put it because or why. Okay, view to this view will have an STL rect will be STL rect in this auto 100, okay, say 120, 20, and then let's say color, it will have a red color. So now we start using new simply SDL color, what color? Oh, say red. So red, zero, zero, red. And its parent will be view, not say address of view. And then I'm having, let's first render this image. So what I have to render it and only view. I don't need to render view 2 because it is nothing. I need to render view and the child is in there, so I don't need to actually insert it. But I don't have any function to insert the child. Let's see. So supplied its parent, and what this does, this simply goes for its parent. Okay, I don't need this thing, I think, because if every child knows its parent, I don't need to. I don't need the actually parent to track its children for now. Maybe if I need, I'll have because the child knows its parent, so it's going to adjust itself according to its parent. I don't need to children are okay. And then let's just render view. So, view render and so that's it. Let's make them see if there are any errors. Okay, there are. You have instead default front of view is this is complaining about something default argument parameter. Okay, you cannot specify the parameter one to be a default argument because the C++ does not like. You can disable it, but let's not do that. Initialized after. If there is some issue with default arguments, let me just simply disable it. I'm not going to support any default thing. And that means, by the way, I actually don't need events anyway because uh, I can hide any Indian. I have to enter it. Say, no. And and still everything many things okay because I haven't used it. Will be initialized after. Okay, there is initialized. accidentally named the weirdly BG color. Color is this BG color. Parent is this parent, and dimensions is this dimensions. Solid. Then see this. Let me see if there are any warnings. So warnings are everywhere, but it is still complaining. So dimensions, VG color, and first dimensions, and then VG color. VG color is initialized with this VG color. Will be initialized after. Okay, because I'm having a different order. I don't know how this works. I'm having a different order in here, so it is also giving different. So let me put them in the same order. So you don't need to tell me that. Now it's solid. Now let's say it is not doing what it is. Okay. I have the white rectangle and the yellow one is not rendering. Why the red one is not rendering? This is the red one. It is not rendering actually. Why? I'm saying view dot render. So when view dot render is calling, then arrow dimensions, this arrow dimension, yeah, if them if and its parent is null, so it is not doing anything. Okay, no, there is an issue here. There is a serious issue here. Not doing it right. Actually, not this way. I have to do it. This way, it is not right. Okay, let me do it this way. Let me enter the view to when I will do this, and then I try making it again. Mm, click, and then again I run it. Okay, then it only renders the so I can understand why it does that. Because if I call view to, it is having this page. The draw color, set the draw color to this, and then temp is equal sign equals parent. Its parent is this thing. Is it or is it not? And it is parent is parent. And then it is adding the dimensions, simply rendering the rectangle. It isn't only rendering itself because who cares about parent? Why will it render its parent? It's all right. But I want it to render its parent too. I want the children to render their parent too. And this should not. The parent should render their children, not the other way. But there is a serious issue in here. Uh, it's not something right. Okay, I need the children thing. Now, okay, first thing I understood I need is children thing. Vector view pointer. Now, first thing I need to do is for every child I need that with so child for it remove child. Let me say it's going to be by some index. PU let me have CSD and CSTD input. And for that, check will do some 2 point view. And what's the issue in here? I don't understand. There's so many errors. Okay, so now void view colon add child void view colon remove child. Two methods to prevent. So it's not that tricky actually. All I need is just to remove this thing. Okay. So let me set market to do first because this one is included for now. So, so let's just market to do. Won't do anything. And now for add child, all I'll do is point. Now all I have to do is simply children dot push. Say okay, I want to have the index to because from where it is from. Okay, so to, I'm not checking for anything. Let's have the index. Ignore for now. Rather than saying yeah, let's have the let's tag is pushed for now. Let's add the index. That is the tag where you can add the elements where you want to. Children not going back to you. It's done then. Now it's something other children are to be there. Now it's parent. Children doesn't know their parent. Or they do maybe children arrow. Okay, to run the children first under this element and then rendering children. So then you render children. Okay, so for auto. Okay, for view pointer and children for every children amount is something given to the parent. So faster. And what about their parent? Parent is handled easily. I have a I have what I whom I say this thing. Okay, so this is the thing that I have to initialize the parent, assign the parent and stuff to. That means that they have children, the parent. So At the time of writing this code, okay, I will later add the get answer for the parent, changing the parent and modifying the child and stuff. But for now, I think the code is ready. Its parent is null, its parent is you. Hmm. And I also want you dot add child this thing. Well, okay, let's add something like void to set parent you or it will do is simply set the parent. This arrow parent sign to this is very helpful to avoid it parent. And then this is going to be the view. Nothing is alright. Then what? Then this is child and child. So and this append to will do one thing. So set the parent. And this add child, what it will do is it will take this view and it will say set parent. This. So this okay. And now all I need to do is I don't need to actually pass this thing. I don't need to actually have this parent stuff. I can simply remove it if I want to, but let's ignore it. I don't need to actually have it. Let me just remove it then. I don't want a parent in here. Not like I need too many arguments in here. It becomes more buggy. So now I can easily modify the parent and stuff. So this is our U2, this is our V1. Now all I have to do is u dot add child U2. That's simple. Okay, not this address. Now if I render view, I think I should be able to say view to do. It means first there will be a white rectangle, and then inside that white rectangle, first there will be a white rectangle. There will be a white rectangle, and inside that white rectangle there will be a red rectangle, and this whole will be on our screen definitely. So there will be our screen, and then a white rectangle, and inside the white rectangle there will be a red rectangle. If everything is correct, let's see if it is working. So remove child, I have not implemented it, so for now let this run. Okay, okay, it's working kind of fine, but the position isn't respected yet. The output isn't as accepted. This red rectangle should be inside this white rectangle. Let me see what's wrong here. So first I have to, since this code is working, this thing is not working. Mm, its parent is null. Okay, there's some problem. When I'm calling render for this child, 'cause SDL2, what it is doing is taking the dimensions, then having this color, and then taking its parent. And its parent is, I think I modified its parent. So you children dot pushback you and you arrow set parent this. So this is its parent. That is new VW is parent. Its parent. Then set parent is directly modifying its parent variable. Okay. And not equal to null. And let me see if it working. Let me set some see out, say yes, like, because this should run forward. And next once. Okay, let me include IOStream. IOStream. That is 3D. Make it, and then it's done. Okay, it is working. It's working. It is working, but it is not calculating it. We are rendering the wrong thing. Anyway, temp dimensions. Parent dimension is the temporary dimensions. Okay. And t dimensions dot x assign this dot x. Okay. Render dimensions is width that is same. Mm, Let me see its temperature. Okay, x, y, w. It's all right. This is the x, this is the y, this is w, and I'm doing x. This is p dimensions dot x plus this dimensions dot x. Its parents dimensions, because parents is not null, parent is not null, and, uh, and parent has some dimension. So this has some dimension, upper dimension. 10% temp arrow parent. And then render dimension. Let me check if the parent has the dimension protects 100. Should be always true. Should be always true at least, because that's how I'm supposed to use it. At least that's how I expect myself to use it. Dot slash pen slash camera. So zero. Why is it going zero ever? So there is something that is unexpected. Okay, first I'm having this view. Let me ensure that this code only works for this stuff. That is, so this arrow dimension x must be always 20. This does not have any parent, and this has the parental as this, so that's true. don't have. Okay. So let's see. Hey, there is something wrong in here. Why this code is running for this thing too? Actually, okay, it has some weird way. Okay, I have to set its parent. pw dot set parent. Right. Then and only then it will actually by default I think it should be null. Just put it in. Because it's going to cause some many. Okay. Okay, this cannot be done like that. Let me just put it like this. And then game.php, yep, it's done. It's working. So just because that thing was null, it was not working. So it should be null by default. Now only by this thing is working now. So I'm able to have a parent-child relationship in this thing, this layout stuff. Make hyphen b and okay, dot slash bin slash. You can see it's having a parent-child relationship now. We're able to render a view with some another view inside it. That is, we are having a friend describe it to controllers. We are able to have a container which can actually have a logical relationship with another container. You have to see this is a very crucial part because now we are able to actually do some pretty cool graphical stuff. I mean, this thing is this box children, this is parent, then this is child, this is parent, this is child, this thing is child, this is parent. So you can see when we learned something, we implemented something very cool in here. And why am I doing it? Because I was in later thing, later when we actually make this game a bit more sophisticated, I don't want any problems because of the UI. Because actually it does create many problems. Then I try to do something very when I did something uh, say a bit tangible. Because when you start actually arranging the elements around the screen and you actually want them to have some kind of relationship that they can so that they can be sorted out easily without you needing to do anything in or without you needing to calculate everything again and do everything manually. So this kind of mechanism really helps in say helps in arranging the elements inside a container and making a logically logically correct UI. Because if it's not logically correct, you have to do very manual things. Anyway, so I think we succeeded in getting a view right now. This view component is kind of done. Let me also do something nice in here. What I'm going to do now is add other functions to suppose remove child. Remove child with child doing say we provide the index and then So let's say do the view, and then I'm going to get the children with children index. I'm not checking for it. Let's not do that one. I'm going to have a elaborate it later. Let's have where we are working for now. You see the things or enhancing this stuff later on. So I'm having children X was this child. All I need to do is simply say to row set parent change signal for now. And let's remove it from children array. Children dot erase. Okay. Uh, children dot parent plus plus index. So I think this is going to be the children. So if I actually call the remove child function now, remove child, so zeros index. I think every child needs to have its ID now. Anyway, mm, that, that the bare minimum thing. Translator. Okay, yeah, it's removed. Child is removed. And if I comment this code out, then the child will be still there. It is going to render inside its parent. So you can see it's inside its parent. The parent is his child. Let me remove this debug line from it. And that's it for in today's video. Thanks for watching.